Have you been able to hit the other classes, like evening classes, or
What's that?
have you been able to hit any of the other classes, like 6 o'clock or
No,
the 6 p.m.? Because sometimes going on what they go on.
we haven't been doing evening class in a while, but I'm thinking, man, kind of this year, I want to dial in on a few more, like, get my sleeps pretty dialed. You know, like, I've kind of been probably more escaping than sleeping. You know, or resting up,
From, I know, but any particular half hour,
probably, probably from being on the sleep and half hour, really dial on those things, close guard, butterfly. Like I've been, where I can find if I can just get one butterfly hook in, try to play with that, like open that up, but just kind of sweeping it. It's kind of where
let's do this, just a suggestion. Start half hour. We'll do like 30 seconds. Butterfly.
yeah, probably good.
And we'll just do it. I'll just do it. Not that you're trying to sleep or are you able to prevent me from passing? You know, just feel and then go half hour. And I just think there's things like this. Wherever you start, you start here.
So that's where I kind of tied towards escaping or like, what was the other person? That's butterflies.
Cool. And this is why I say I just want to feel what you do, and then we'll see. Okay? This is where you start. So, what I want you to think of is a couple of these things. Halfway. Here's your strengths. Let's work on your strengths. You're really good at this option drill. You're really good at this knee shield. But if you're trying to sweep me, what this affects is a better place on your foot. So if you start driving into me, I hear you grab me, what are you doing? You're hunker down, right? So you can do one of two things. You can try to use this to get this elbow to the other half. Now you're setting up the butterfly entry. But what this is going to make you feel weird is you're not going to be shit. So they're going to need to drop inside, right? Break out of posture. So you're affording them the ability to move forward.
So yeah, that's what because then you're kind of doing the butterfly hook on that one instead of that one.
Yeah, so this butterfly comes from this knee shield because I can't wrestle up. I'm getting this elbow when you're defending this to the center. So what I like to do is bring this knee a little bit higher. When I bring the knee up higher, the chest will up into the knee shield. Yeah, I'm not flexible. We're going to take this here. Palm pull this in. And now you're going to affect this and go. Break your posture. Overhooking the head. You should let the head with the head that brings that posture. Now this bottom foot goes through this. My ankle goes here. Right? I bring this knee up. Right. Over to the left. This is not all. This is one way to do it.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, this is kind of what I'm looking for. It's just to be able to set up.
So you're good here. This is why, because you're making me good. I'm doing what I need. You're giving me a problem, I'm giving you my answer. So instead of just staying here good, you're coming up because that's giving you that base. So once you do this, you can do one or two things like I do, I detach this to come here. Here's a more flexible. You can probably go from this knee shield, bring in this knee shield right here, my foot ridge, bring it up to my sternum. This knee pressure right here. Can you palm out into the I still don't get that. So now, what I want you to feel is this butterfly needs to be into my core. Because what's going to get in your nails is going to get ankle and that shin. Because you're used to having this shin as your knee shield, this is going to feel weird. I'm going to double down because now I'm going to break my posture because I come up. You're going to collapse your elbow, bring this knee up. Not so much, but just from there, drop, sitting forward. Bring this knee in and up. Butterfly. We'll do a couple works like that. So what this is doing is it's directing my weight to center of gravity to now. Oh shit. I'm moving forward. Don't let it go. If you start using the super again, I want you to get the posture. Use that handle. Dick sweeping, hunker down to my hands. Nice, relax, slow. So can you get to that elbow before you reach? If you reach and then go to your elbow, I'm going to probably smash you. So using your frame, this top frame, I'll go right here. My leverage to get on that elbow. So then we go. Does that make sense in that order? Using the butterfly reflex to go back. You feel me driving forward on my knees. And we're calm my center back. My posture is forward to your hips. So those are your half lifts. Butterfly. So for butterflies, you're starting here, which is normally where everybody starts. This is outside. I want you to immediately know, think of this is not the butterfly side. This is the butterfly side. What I'm doing is I'm stripping. If you've got the ability and the means to do that, it's like, I like this because I'm squeezing my elbows. You're going to feel like you want to shut
If you got the ability to get it.
if you want to, I like this better. I feel that. Some people do these grips and they play. There's all kinds of reasons why that would. I like it. That's good. That's neat. But we're going to feel more of it. The moment my head gets thrown off, you're going to start passing. And again, butterfly moves and tight my head. And then keep going. You feel like I'm almost extending the diaphragm from here. Just opening like this. Your hip is in line. Again, I'm opening that. Then I'm trying to strap shoulder. I sit under your chin. So this, start going differently. And if you start playing this game, under the bottom. Even if you get against by, I've got what I need, a couple of you. So what would you do? Go ahead and start fighting inside. I'm going to. I want you to fight for that under, not just the butterfly. The sweep will come from that. But when you start with the double knees, either start doing that. You start double underhooks and butterflies. But all the higher level guys, you'll see them go. You do that all the time. You're ready. So yeah, we drill it in our UBI comments, but it's just a big comment. See, it's good. Where it's dominating, it's the choice of the bottom. So when they're on there for more than 60 seconds, they got to go now. So for our compasses, we will do spider back, butterfly. But anyways, we work on this. See you guys. Spider back. Is there another question? But the butterfly is the comment. Call so what I want you to do is either find what is your sweet spot. You're going to be less controlling with the reverse backpack. So go for the body rock. Let's just take a break. And I want you to work on your hips. So you don't hurt your neck, but you're in a good position, nice and strong. Right? And so how can you control me? I'm not strong and loose. Both ways. You're not getting out. So, it's you. So, this should be great. Let me try to sleep. You're not trying to get back position. That's what you need to do. Yeah. But you're not going to any harder. For sure. Play the game. This. Somebody in the class that was kind of just trying to get one shoulder. Oh, that's. Yes. Yes. Let me. I'll put my. But yes, no, there's nothing wrong with getting a shoulder crush. Gordon Ryan got a lot of credit on that because he did so well. He executed all the fundamentals to that shoulder crunch and butterfly really, really well. So no, you're not wrong there. And that's usually the go-to on that because it still maintains the principles of the butterfly, meaning you have that strong boot, you have the knee shield that's still there. I'm trying to incorporate this more. So. Next. So, butterflies. You start from this position. You can use the frames to trap or trick yourself. You're going to frame on the chest with this hand, right? What I'm going to do is push in and I'm going to reach. That's going to be this last side. So once you get here, you can go to my back or you can come to my shoulder trap. See, that gives you that elbow. This is going to set up that shoulder crunch because now your head's in position. I'm going to drive into your head. And you've got this. So depending on how you got this, I'm probably going to be in a bullshit situation. You just would push your head with your forearm. But you still need to get strong hooks in those boots. So if I drive in, I want you to come on the wrist to get a little boost. When the boots are in, back up, shift, yes, and then top. So there's nothing wrong with getting the butterfly answer without the compass, but knowing how to monitor it. And let's just say I'm really good at defending one, like usually good. So the next time I fight you, I have a compass. And if you go double that, that's fine, because it should be a little high. But if you're able to pump her down, wiggle her, get your head from my chin down here. You can't touch it. I'm going to double on it. Oh, this is not a double. If you get double, it's cool. You just train. Now, look at where your head's at. You're on my clavicle. I want you to really wind the fight for that side. Because you're comfortable there. But here's where you want it. So I start pushing you down. This is where we're fighting. And the moment you feel like it's go time, you get my elbow over your shoulder or your trousers. Boom, squeeze you in. If that was sweet, see, I want you to say stick butterfly, and I want you to mount. You can throw me a side control, that's fine. But that's taking out. Does that make sense? That's where your state boost come in. Looks good. Second. Yes! That little fucking stickiness. I'm trying to drive it. I'm trying to smash it. It's not. That's what you're going to get, though, right? You want me to sit like that? You could go to close guard, which you could have shrink out, take it back. You see it?
I just think like automatic, the thing just grab.
No, that's why I paused. A little tap to pause because you did fine. But I'd rather take it back. You did well.
I got stuff in that on that side. Where? It's got this thing that is on the knee. You just gotta be able to do stuff.
Let's go to what's that? First and suits on that. But yeah, no butterflies really stressful on it. So let's you got it on what we want to do is get to the underhooks, head position, strong glutes, and loosen. What was your strong glutes? Underhooks, head position.
Yeah, that's all the details that I have.
That's good, and that's what I'm saying, like, we can go on a quick review because even though you don't feel like anything's changed from white to purple, because you feel like there's a purple or something. These are the things I'm feeling that you want to do, and you just get that 30 seconds. The moment I can feel you doing all that stuff, I'm like, completely, because notice when you started to scoot in and you started to send that sleep, what I do, I just float in. You know, the fuck is that? It's a thing, right? But Aaron has an answer for every time I do it. He's like, okay, so you're athletic after that. So anyways, the half guard, what I want you to think of is, you are really good at knee shields and you're really good at frames. You're good at preventing you from controlling your head. You're really good at keeping your head all the way in when you want it, or you're really good at keeping your head away so it can't control you. So what you now need to do is bait me into thinking on your ass. That's what you're doing. I'm on that. You're good. You've got the point in the last year where I really have to put all my effort into passing. It's too much effort. So now what we're doing is you're getting that knee shield out to go to the butter half to set up your butterfly sweep. So the butter half is a good game I've been playing with and feeling. So, especially when they're big. Are you more concerned with the bigger, stronger base guys like Merlin and Tank?
I would say, man, now that like pretty much everyone knows is not
Yeah.
bigger. I mean, I'm like maybe playing with like putting a super speed in it or something, but really what I'm doing, not sweeping. Just absolutely in this class.
So let's go close guard. This is where I'm in trouble. Everybody who's bigger than them is when they pass down. They don't. So what I'm thinking here is I'm probably not going to get my high guard on these big airflows. So what I'm doing is I'm pitching my knees to this over there. This is going to be good for you because you already have good changes and stuff. They're going to want to start smashing your knees. They're automatically going to start doing this. You can start playing, tapping. If you get this heel in here, but you gotta get this heel to set this.
So they deal with it.
Yeah, because now they can't come forward. They're gonna want to drive in. As soon as they feel this, you're driving up right forward towards me. Face to face. And if not, so I'm missing it. So if you might hold my clothes right around my half butterfly. So I'm playing that image to try to set my, because this is Merlin's focus, right? Where we start doing that protocol is to start doing what we like to carry away. So I didn't go forward to let me carry my weight and then do that. What I do, I go back, I pin your ass to that, get my gut, get home. So if you get in that transition as I'm getting mobile, or you go to open or half. So again, just yes, yes, yeah, closer. Ideally, what I want to do for most people is I want to go up really high guard, right the posture, and start breaking it down. But because they're good at staying humped down, open my guard and hit my ass. I'm already setting that. But I'm not being loosey goosey. I can't go to my elbow just yet. So what would you normally do So I'm trying to just I'm good close guard to get to my half guard or the toe. And if I do any of that, that's fine. Hip up swings aren't gonna work. The hip up swings there for a time. We're getting on our teammates. So close guard, making sure you have a good transition to close guard. I think is the best thing. You may not be getting the old sweeps, old school sweeps, the white belt sweeps on this.
Yeah, I like the idea of adding to a game, taking this stuff and playing that kind of version.
We go to back and watch this, or we have the range? It's okay. So go ahead and go, so I'm not giving you that. And you're strong.
And then you were putting this heel there. And something right there.
You do it with a lot of things. They won't expect it, because now, because you're framing here, I can't break contact with pulling me in. I'm not long enough, maybe the taller guys are to backstep. But then that breaks my base and posture, not falling into your triangle. Something to work on, you know. But I think that would be good to address that. Yeah, I don't know what else we can do to compromise your piece. How are you with leg attacks, heel hooks, and circles? How do you feel like you could just... So with those, to avoid the entries and the knee control, I want to think of finishing and the finishing mechanics, or we can go to that if you're interested, because I don't know if you've got to read right away. Or we can roll, it doesn't matter to me, I just, you know, so this is why I suggested it, because we can go to back, which we can all work on back control, or we can work on finishing mechanics, just to be applying them to my ankle. That way we're not even worried about finishing.
Yeah, so like the leg stuff, like I got a tap from Brandon on Monday. He was going after my leg. So once I'm already in a position to snatch it up, I'm pretty solid. Getting setting up a leg lock or transition, all this kind of stuff. Whatever position to tap on the legs.
We can work on that next few weeks when you're feeling a little better, or just the entry positions, because there's a lot of things that you can do from beyond your belly. They're on me, belly, and you can say that. Because a lot of these times we'll start in Ashigarami or single leg X, and they're like, wait, how do I get there? But that was how I learned when I started learning 10 plant stuff. They're like, all right, we're going to start in this position. I'm like, how the fuck do I get to that position? Because I never got to that position. And then when I went right past that position in the roll, I'm like, it was over there. Like, it's like passing the bus on. Fuck. So we can just drill on entries too. And then, but what I was going to suggest is like this. Just one better than the other. So the only thing I want you to think of is, and this shouldn't put you in, is the mechanics of an ankle lock and the mechanics of a heel, which you probably already know, but we're just going to go over just to think of the little things. What I'm going to feel is I want my cutting blade to always try to go from here. This is where it's really going to hurt. Sometimes you'll feel the bone on bone here, but I'm really trying to get control from this little handle right here. You can feel when I press in here. That's muscle. That little lever, if you try to manipulate your foot back and forth, it gives you a little less. So when I'm able to put pressure here, your defenses to any leg attacks is either to do like a ballerina foot, frame with this heel and push on my taint or my leg or my hamstring to pull out. Or you're going to make a boot and you're going to heel stomp in, right? That's why we transition from heel hooks to knee bars. Or if I go from a heel hook and boot, I gotta go some other kind of whatever. I gotta do something because you're addressing the threat. So straight ankle is like a guillotine. I'm trying to get this. And I'm breaking this down body style just because I want you to think of where my cutting blade is. I'm not doing this. You can already see the difference between the soft tissue here. If I'm doing this, I'm gonna hurt my wrist. If I'm doing this, don't try to do a big about it. Even here, it'll hurt. Even if you're here, right? So, when I get here, this is what everybody does, is they try to do the white belt, rear to the choke. This. But once I get in here, I then stab myself, I support my hand, and I do a strip of tits. So you can feel this. I go here, I put my hands in here, I stab myself. Now I'm bringing this cutting blade into it. So it feels weird because when I do this and I start going up, I have a tendency to get this softer tissue, softer part. Even though it's not that soft, you feel it on yourself. This part isn't softer. You know what I mean? Is the distinction between this part right here as opposed to this part right here. So go ahead and you can feel how it is on there. When I do it to you, I know you can feel the difference. When I go here, that's still good. When I go here, that's less. So what people have a tendency, they'll go here, and then they'll curl their hand in and connect on tissue. So what this does is, guillotine, with my other hand, I stab myself, and I'm stabbing myself. I bring this in, I arch my back, bring my elbows back, and then I go over. So that's just a straight ankle lock. And you can do that to me, trying to work on it. It doesn't matter what you got there.
When you use the toes in front of you,
You can keep in the armpit.
so now I have to do this.
I know what it is. Yeah, but look at where your hand is. Right here, your finishing position. Go ahead and hold your finishing position. Look at where your forearm is. Your forearm is palm down. Now, right here, what I want you to do is rotate so your thumb is perpendicular to your chest. So it's not like you're stabbing yourself in the heart and not in the chest. Okay? Yeah. So you can start with a hand here and then rotate it in. Once you rotate your, and now rotate to stabbing. And I want you to strip your chest right here. That Achilles, I can feel there's a lot stronger position. Now I want you to arch and go your left eyebrow. Yeah. It's counterintuitive, but you're going to look over that one. And when I start doing it, if I start using it, I feel like I'm going to, so look at where your toes are, they're behind my tricep, right? And this is how I enter it. But when I start to finish it, I'm bringing this up to my chest, I'm rotating this. You can already feel it. Yes, right? You're totally caught on it. But I'm going to use that. If I start feeling like you're getting out or it's not enough, I'm going to actually get this elbow and I'm going to reach. And I get on the shoulder. I never let this go. I'm going to arch. And I'm going to transition. So, this female black belt, I was really credit for that. She said, like a ballerina. Go here, get it, stab yourself in the heart, bring it up, and get pretty. So I'm looking over my eyebrow. What this does is I point my finger and I'm making an arc. It makes me arch my back up. And it locks it back up. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't, no one ever does this.
And let's keep this,
Yeah.
seven, so.
Yes. And I'm defending. So now bring your hand position. Remember your hand position. Once you stab yourself, bring it up. And now you can, now I start fighting. And I want this bigger than that. I want you to draw a circle all the way up. Keep it. It doesn't feel like you did it, but it tweaks the shit out of it. But it all comes from this. Not this. That little tweak.
If I think of like, here, when I did on the makeup the other day, so we fell, he was, I don't know how many, but he was attacking me, so we fell. Historically, how I feel, is just going belly down.
Yeah.
And then we start to.
Sure.
Or, so I kind of walked down and around, kind of those things in the whole thing. That little bit of detail there.
That's true. You say that. You keep going. I'll tell you. And you don't have to let go. You can just pause it right when I tap. Go and hold it. So go ahead and go and then hold it. Hold it. Right there, starting. So I pause before it hurt, but if you just hold that position, I'm ready. If not, I'm gonna fucking break something. It didn't hurt when I tapped, but just by you holding it where I said, okay, that's enough, it's already done.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much tapped as soon as start to feel that. Okay, that's a good stretch. Okay, now I'm gonna tap.
So what I want you to feel when you do it for your defense is when someone's getting you and they reply everything correctly, it's already almost too late, right? So I want you to think of this. What you need to do to finish it is to extend your head away. And I'm just, now all the soft tissue, I've compromised. I can't contract. I can't breathe out of it. So my only defense is, since I can't reach your head or your arm, is to use this as my primary defensive leg. I'm going to try to kick you away and get my heel. This is all I can do, and I'm hoping you compensate so that I can start using these to start breaking in. See, now I brought you over my foot. So I'm framing, and I'm using this as hooks. This is all I got because you're going to fucking finish. Yep. Boom. So keep holding it. I just want you to hold it. Good. So now if I start defending from here, you need to prevent my legs from pumping in. I want you to take arching and then belly down, finish right there. Beautiful. But you can see I'm going to start incorporating this in my defense. This is my primary defensive leg when I'm defending. Because whenever anybody attacks my leg, whatever it is, if you're attacking this leg, I want to put all my weight on this leg. I want to point my knee to your nose. I want to do all the way down on that leg. You can no longer need it, but maneuver all my weight out rear. Or you need to prevent me from being able to stand up. So you put all my weight on my butt cheek, my opposite butt cheek, so you can do this leg. But in this ankle lock, I'm fucked. So fine. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think, see if I can get this along. Monday, Brendan had me, he was kind of falling that way, had my leg there, and I was able to come up there, and when I came back down, I was able to boom, to my butt, and then I boom, and I fell,
Nice.
put it there.
This one's a little different, which is fine. But the mechanics are still the same. My toe trap,
No, no, it's not right.
it doesn't matter.
But yeah.
This is ankle.
I just hooked, he was getting me, the main idea was I came up to that base from him, he had me, and then I was able to base up. Yeah, did like that. And then,
That's a good one.
and then,
Cool. So now that was the mechanics of the ankle. You get you on your, say your right hip. Now I'm going to expose your left hip. So it's going to be maybe hard to see. But again, I'm still using that heavy blade that I'm talking about. Or even this fishing rod I'm passing. But I'm trying to get that here. In that same little, I'll have to figure out what the mechanic, with the medical term, but this little trigger right here. This is what I'm looking for. This is all I really want to finish. Palm down. People always end up doing this wrong. And you can see the softer tissue. So if you ever get confused, I don't know if you do now. I'm trying to get almost this part here. Right here. Yeah. So if we go in, you can see, you can already feel, and you can see visually. That's my forearm, that's my muscle. There's bone in there. You try to crank a little bit. You can already feel the difference. And what this allows me to do is when I gable grip, I've got control of your bone, so I'm giving you an elevation and I'm pushing this down. Right? But another one, if I can, I'm trying to control here, I'm going on stuff coming from here, and I gotta go really deep. And you're doing your job of defending your body. Making a boot, right? If you make a good boot, or if the ballerinas come out of it, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose it. I trap the heel. When I trap the heel, I can remember two things. I can keep this heel hook, make it like a football, and then I'm really trying, I'm being nice right now, I'm really trying to watch this elbow, so I'm not trying to get the ankle lock on, I'm not trying to get it. I'm losing here, pushing the point, I'm losing it. I'm bringing this elbow in, bringing this in, and now I can start rotating the elbow. I'm sorry, that's it. But you see what I'm saying as far as control? So I want you to think of my toes are in the field of the ribs. Yeah. I just feel that I just have control. I'm not trying to finish it. You're not trying to get out, but you feel control of it. You feel control of it. This is what you're going to do. Or I can try to overhook, football grip, that, or but you see what I'm saying? So from here to here, here to here. And if I start this It's a big, that's the big difference. My heel is now going straight up. My knee has to go down because of this. Can you feel that? Now let's just say I start push point. I don't want you to finish, I don't want you to tweak, I just want you to maintain control with this grip. That's how you're going to finish. I'm already feeling strained. And if you have your leg in the right position, I'm going to tap for it. This is your target. This is where you're trying to put. So I'm feeling like you're using the cutting blade on my Achilles. I want you to feel where you're left hand. Keep how a little bit lower for this. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So my defense is to grab. I can't grab you because now you're strong. Your skeletal is strong. I'm sorry.
And then you were switching if you start to lose it.
Yeah, overlook it like you're grabbing the hand of a football. But you can keep your hand there and then just, yeah. So you're really overlooking my heel and your elbow, your elbow is fortifying your hand. And that's the grip. It's double grip. Now my hand is really good. Good. And when I tap, I want you to let go as much as possible. Keep going. You maintain control, tight control. Yes. So, and then from here, if I successfully punch through, go right back to the ankle. So, yeah. Beautiful. You adjust a little deep, and you want to do your shot. So that's just finishing counts of your ankles, but that's because getting there, getting entry, getting control. The leg between your legs is the primary attack that you want to finish on, but I'm going to start bullshitting with this one. I can't finish on this one. But this is the one that I need, but you'll be defending this one so well that I'll start reaching for this one, hoping you'll this one. Like I want the hot chicken while I'm on top of that one. Yeah. That's the whole thing with this. Like if I start playing with your ankle, and I don't have control over it, this is a bullshit. Yes, I can finish them. You should know you're safe. Just know you're 90% safe. Yes, I can do a jerk fucking jerk, lose whatever. I can start cranking and you got foot to do it. Frame on my knee, frame on my leg. This is your primary defense. This is your leg. This is the way. You can't stay by it. Get this to be a little bit. Elevating whatever that you're coming in. In self-defense, I want you to put in place. Right?
I think like right now, I mean, I was bringing that up, but my secondary, like, automatic response feels like when that upwards, boom, cut on that, and then go from there. I mean, if we're just.
I like it. So if there's another thing I'm thinking is too, if you feel that you can't push down, and your toes, use this toe, bring my toes back, and then grab my elbow. I was saying that once you got my elbow, then I want you to shut the thing down. Now I got you. If you can. So definitely go for a 50-50 attack. But if for some reason I'm hiding this foot, you can push and heel stomp, but if you don't heel stomp on your right foot on my elbow, you got it. You don't look at it and and now another.
Yeah, like that. That's kind of hooking and holding in between versus trying to push or trying to push that.
You're really good at keeping your head and your body step away, but sometimes you need to learn to make yourself. Take it over.
Try and get Florida VA, Gainesville, Florida VA on the phone.
I hope this helps. I know. This is your process. I'm not saying like that. But I want you to feel like you're progressing so you can get to class. I felt like a few times I was able to go to Tanner's classes with these guys. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. You'll see Tanner's started teaching again. Nothing is that. But now I'm learning from not just from it's great. And I learned and I stole a lot of stuff. I revisited a lot of stuff. But with Tanner now, so now you're learning. And what I learned, what I did, twist, push, pull, hook and legs, and there's so many different things that Tanner just like open my eyes to. I don't know. Or I was doing it, but I was falling into it. But this control, I've been working on since I was a kid.
I'm thinking, man, like, right now, yeah, if I can threaten a little more sleeps, I feel pretty comfortable escaping and stuff, but I can threaten sleep and then start working on expanding my submission mostly right now.
Yeah.
I got a few shows that do, like, pretty confident that people on our position. Everyone's obviously in this class a pretty good at defending that, but just being able to start to open it up, those sleeps and submissions.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think that butterfly and half guard sweeps are good, especially if you're going to put it all out. You always see them at the right you got all of it, but you don't get to play with them because you're just trying to survive, surround them. But now protocol, you can let yourself play with the white belts and try it and progressively getting in that position because you're better at getting where you need to be. Whereas before you were just trying we're trying to survive as first two guys. You know? And now you're like, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Yeah, none of them are too now I'm thinking about it, and like, I'm gonna have to adjust some of my trajectory, my game, to not getting better at it. I guess it is what it is. Just trying to strengthen my tendons and basis of cartilage. So if I play the butterfly, I'm fucking myself every time I go there, like whatever position, you know, like come on, get it in my game. What works for me, we're done.
I'm good at hamstrings.
They get tight.
Maybe a little resistance. Because I'm thinking, whenever I think my neighbors, I start doing my hamstrings and my glutes just so they have the opposite stability. It's like, if I have a bad back, I try to do it. I think in my head, or my hip flexors, and my lower back hurts. So I try to do abs, flexors, and things like that. But with my knee, when my knee hurts, I know it's the stabilizer and the hip rotation. So there's a lot of these squats where there's this kind of outside of these, and we're squatting, trying to avoid that outside rotation that might help 45 minutes of hip support. And it just hits different parts of it. Opens up the hips, grind that, trying to open up my hips so the wings aren't in a weird compromised position. So my right knee always hurts. So now I'm seeing all these mobility things on YouTube, like it's because your hip socket isn't actually activating the glutes. Maybe, I don't know, let's see. I'm playing with it. You know? So maybe you can help support muscles in that.
I try to run like a assessment to see, kind of gauging what's what, this guy maybe they can show you how to do like a 10-minute assessment. Squat, things tight, hips, maybe some hamstring stuff, those really easy. Yeah. Tight, how much you sit.
Your hamstrings, I would imagine, are strong. Try to stretch them. Resistance. You heard of the knees on the toes guy?
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff. But to revisit what you're doing with the sweeps, I think because you're doing such a good job of being defensive, you're not allowing yourself to transition to the offense. So you're open that because you are really good at preventing from getting pressure. I'm like, all right, fine, I'm not going to pressure, I understand that. You don't want this. There's a couple of things of getting out of butterflies that we do in planning, so that counts as time's over. If you're in butterfly control, I got to pass and then control for 2 seconds. Then I have one position. Or if I just stand at quick contact, I can hold it. Because you maintain control. I want you to do that. So part of the butterfly that we do, like in a plan that we don't focus on in other schools, is not only getting you a good butterfly position, but maintaining and controlling.
So if you're in my butterfly and you get out, that's a good idea. That's a target.
Yes. So you got me in butterfly guard and I break contact, I break your grip, and I stand up. I escape. Think of it as a closed guard. It is a guard. If I get out of a closed guard, I may not pass, but I got it. When you pass the guard, I didn't get it when you get the point because the concept there. I stood up, I got it again. So I want you to think about it. So part of your butterfly is think of yourself as a butterfly. You're setting up the butterfly to get them in this little cocoon of yours so you can start flipping through and all that digestive juices. So you want to get them in that trap. And the moment they start maneuvering your head, that goes back in. Start moving your hands, you get back in position. Boom, boom. Whatever it is you need. Adjust your head. If they start putting their head lower than yours, you're like, no, that's not what I want. Butterflies are strong. Switch. Nope, nope. Can I elevate? Not too much time. Get that elevation. Can I transition to butterfly? Can I start fighting that? So it's all those little transitions that you're going to be doing. In your closed guard, it's half guard, half whatever. Butterfly guard. The half guard, there's some. I think you would be really good at doing some high guard attacks. Not right now. But if you can get them to start sinking down and then you start crawling the body on the bottles, like I'm trying to go back. Yeah. But I think those are good positions for you because you're athletic and you're quick enough to scramble. And then they're going to think you're going to just go default to your initial. Your initial, because your initial is good. It's enough.
Every time I throw it on my quad, it's something I just feel good about. That's what it feels. But no, I appreciate that. All of it. Mobility. Staying locked in. Staying moving. Connected.
Yeah, I'm calming your study. That's what it is. I'm calming your trap. Because I'm real comfortable in someone's butterfly because I start popping it out. You don't like that. You break contact with your head and push it inside. And I get my arms in, I get my elbows inside the neck. So I've created space and no longer can control. So then they try to elevate me on the floor. Some pitches. They don't expect anything after that. You guys do this. Most of you just start going, they don't expect anything after that. So but you felt like once you try to extend me out, I'm like, fine, I'm just gonna float. That's frustrating. I had something. I had that.
Well, it's fun to make maybe subconsciously, even though I know enough of people in here, but yeah, I was almost expecting, anticipating getting there, and then you just sprawl out there and float.
Dirty dance.
Yeah.
It's a dirty dance. Yeah, it's a stall. Lee fucking went like 5 times on Sunday. Just because he was doing a really good job of doing that. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to immediately turn into a knee bar, heel hook, ankle up. He just started, and I got out once or twice, but it was playful, but it wasn't working for me against the black belt. Which is cool, that's fine, I'll eat that. They worked against Manning today. I think, or Ken. One of them was doing butterfly, they did both work. But the only way to get better at that is on the is just drilling it. You're going to drill it until you start seeing it. I didn't see butterflies. Oh, wait, I can do this. I'm really cold.
Well, it's interesting, man, like, whether I just missed that week or just have what those, the things that we kind of missed about our learning. I like, been, I don't think I've ever missed an art class, but for some reason, miss the butterfly classes or, it's been a while since we've done a Lake Rock series.
Steve teaches. Well, I don't know if he teaches it, but he does it a lot. I don't know how much he teaches it. He's really good at that. When I first met Steve, I was like, oh, fuck. I thought I was good at defending butterfly. So, and so is Lee. If that's something you're interested in, definitely work with that. I'm good at defending it. They're good at so, you don't think about it. My whole belief, I know we talk outside of it, right? My whole thing is, can I contribute? Can I help each and everybody somehow? You know, yeah. If I can be a good opponent and give you a good role, cool. And if I'm losing most of the role, hesitant, that's just, it's never.
I appreciate it, especially down there, when we're rolling. So, but I don't want to have a half-ass look, you know, like, you want to see a favorite, one that one, like,
No, when I met you, you were still muscling through things, and you were kind of glossing over more of the technique. The fundamentals were there, but you were like Marine Corps drive through, and that's fine. And then now you're like, you can do this better. You're not analysis paralysis to analysis. You're more like thinking your way through a shoot house. You're like, okay, you're matrix. I'm seeing things. All right, okay, I got two. I should have gotten shot. You're really, that's where I see, that's where I feel you is. And you're not really worried about, but don't you try to pick up, jab, move, shoot, up, and you have to go push. That's how I feel you is. You know, you're flowing. You're flowing, and you're trying to stay safe. That's the biggest thing. So see me just sitting there, feels good until I have to get up, and that fucking hurts.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. You know, I was like seeing you guys. I try to share on this 40 and over the day page on Facebook, and I'm trying not to sound like an asshole, so I'm like, fuck you guys, you're always talking about getting hurt, and I go to it twice a week, you gotta go hard to the death. I'm like, I train every day, but I don't fuck the rest people you know, it's just a form. It's just not a form. But I see these posts, and I'm like, what the fuck? You're so hard on yourself. Like, I'm training 3 times a day, I'm doing this and this. What can I do? I'm like, I have a wife like mine. She's like, you're not a pro, you're not an MMA fighter. What the fuck are you doing? It's okay to lose. It's okay to take a day
I don't know,
off.
man. You get in here quite a bit.
Yeah, but look, this wasn't real hard. Like, what do? We did technique, which drillers make killers, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't going to beat up your body, right? You don't want to be a purple belt for 7 years. You know what I mean? You'll be able to progress. And there's nothing wrong with people who get injured. Obviously, these things are going to happen, but
Yeah, fortunately, man, I haven't had any, well, except my very first classic. Pretty sure it's Tanner, I'm not sure. It was black belt. I didn't know anyone at the time. Tore my AC joint
oh my god.
right off the bat.
Welcome to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. But then I kept coming. But other than that, man, it's just like, you know, it's been 20 years of dealing with
Yeah.
chronic injuries from being a knucklehead and just fucking
Well,
blasting through shit, hurting myself, and then not doing anything about it.
no, just stick with it. You're good, and you can see how it is. Like, look at people like Andy and Brendan. They're all coming up. Andy Grout's gonna be a blue belt soon enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brendan should be a 2-stripe purple belt. He should have been a purple belt a year ago,
Yeah.
but because of his competition.
Was I was kind of wondering if it was just holding him back to keep competing at blue belt for a bit.
I'm sure it was a part of it. There was definitely different. Each student, this was explained to me, and I'm sure Tanner followed the same practice, but each student should be evaluated on their own merit. I'm not comparing you to Merlin. I'm not comparing Angela to Kenny. You know what I mean?
For sure.
There is a minimum basis of like fundamentals at each belt level, but because one person comes in every day and can do the warm-ups, there's another guy, a person that'll come in, they're barely getting through warm-ups. I'm not saying we're just going to give them a belt. I wouldn't give them a belt, but I'm sure Tanner doesn't either. But once they're able to move safely and then execute some jiu-jitsu, they might get a stripe, whereas you wouldn't. Because you're already first week able to move, do the warm-ups, go through a full class. That person 6 months ago couldn't even get through a class without sitting down because of their injuries or their health. Let's give them a stripe. Let's give them 2 stripes. Are they going to be able to kick your ass with no stripes? Are you going to get mad because they got a stripe and you didn't? And you're better than them and you beat them every time? That happens all the time in schools. What the fuck? How come he got a stripe and I'm fucking kicking his ass every time?
That's I read about that stuff, but I've never seen
I haven't seen it either.
here, man. I mean, you've been in a lot more gym. I'm sure you've seen all kinds of.
I've seen senior belted people or striped people say petty things.
but not. At other schools I've heard it, and it's usually that person has a personality type that's usually like that. Why are they getting that? They're like kind of haters in that sense. Like instead of going, hey, I'm glad they got a stripe. I think I should have gotten a stripe. That doesn't take away from my stripe. That's how we think. That's how I also think. But I've heard some other people say, oh, well, I did really horrible at my tournament, but at least I did better than that person. And that should be the mentality, and that should be caution. I'm glad we don't have most of these people do that.
You got anyone coming in later?
I don't know.
Was that Luke Lee that came in yesterday?
Yeah, I was gonna post that picture, yeah. I was gonna post that. It's a horrible picture of me in my cities. Dude, it hurts to get up when I can roll for 5 hours